In the headlines, Senate debates CBN cash withdrawal policy, moves to amend EFCC Act. Court sentences 3 to die by hanging in Kwara for murder. Wife of Jos deceased mechanic narrates ordeal. And away from Nigeria, flooding kills more than 120 people in Democratic Republic of Congo, capital Kinshasa. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. And now the details. The Senate will on Wednesday debate the cash withdrawal limit policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The upper legislative chamber had adjourned the debate over absence of the chairman, Senate Committee on Banking and Other Related Matters, Uba Sani, who was away for zonal APC presidential campaign in Kaduna. The Senate will now receive the report of the committee for consideration. The report.
The Chairman, Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions, Uba Sani, is also expected to brief his colleagues on the outcome of the screening of 2 deputy governors' nominees sent to it by President Muhammadu Buhari. The committee had earlier screened Edward Ademu and Aisha Ahmad as deputy governors of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. A member of the Uba Sani-led committee, Senator Olubunmi Adetunbi, on a point of order, told his colleagues that the report, which was to be presented on Tuesday's plenary, had to be withheld because Senator Sani is away for all the Progressives Congress presidential rally held in Kaduna. Senator Adetunbi, who assured that the report was ready, noted that the committee's chairman had to attend the APC zonal rally in his capacity as a governorship candidate of Kaduna State.
The deputy governors gave very elaborate explanation, and the committee actually also requested for further evidence in terms of documented reports that will enable the committee to fully understand the issues behind this policy and be able to brief the plenary appropriately. Unfortunately, this report is not ready today because the chairman of the committee is busy on political assignments in Kaduna. He had to receive important party officials in the presidential train. And he has asked me to offer this explanation to the plenary that he is coming tomorrow to actually present the formal report of the findings of the committee.
Nigerians are waiting to hear exactly what the National Assembly will do. The House of Representatives have asked the governor of the central bank to stay action on this, but he, as usual in his typical character, he is being stubborn. And I think delaying it until tomorrow is giving him another chance.
In a remark, the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawa, appealed to the lawmakers to be patient as the findings of the committee will be unveiled within 24 hours.
The All Progressives Congress, APC, is today holding a zonal rally hosting the presidential candidate of the party in Kaduna. All the 7 states will be converging in Kaduna. And you know that our chairman of banking is a gubernatorial candidate of Kaduna State. And naturally, we shouldn't expect him to be here at this time because it needs to be there. But we also felt that we should hear from him, the chairman. He told me the report is ready, but he would like to be here to present the report tomorrow. And on the basis of the report that he presents tomorrow, then we can take the next appropriate line of action.
The report is centered on the rationale behind the cash withdrawal limit policy by the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Now, the Nigerian Senate has commenced the process of amending the act establishing the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to guarantee security of tenure of the chairman of the commission. One of the main objectives of the bill is to subject the termination of the appointment of EFCC chairman to the confirmation of the National Assembly and to establish continuity and consistency in the anti-graft agency. The report.
The piece of legislation sponsored by Minority Whip of the Senate, Chukwuka Otazi, was deliberated upon after the lead debate in plenary.
For other anti-graft agencies created through the legislative instrumentality, before and later, that is, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, and Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, the National Assembly ensured that the headship had security of tenure by ensuring that their appointments and removal, as the case may be, were subject to the confirmation of the Senate. That was not the case with the EFCC. Therefore, in this proposed amendment, it is intended to bring EFCC in conformity with the other two anti-graft agencies of government. This will engender optimal performance of the commission, performance by the commission of the very important mandate assigned to it.
While supporting the passage of the proposed bill, a cross-section of lawmakers believe that the bill will promote professionalism while enhancing the capacity of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
We have a situation in this country where the leadership of EFCC was unceremoniously removed because of perceived political differences. But in this case, Mr. President, it will not promote professionalism. It will not promote continuity.
If we restrict the chairmanship of EFCC to only staff of EFCC, we may be limiting ourselves. Because a situation may arise where we have a capable hand who has done similar things in a similar agency, maybe outside the country, and we may want to bring him to come and improve on the agency we have in Nigeria. But then we must have limited ourselves because of this singular amendment we want to do.
In his submission, the Senate President Ahmed Lawal noted that the argument has been on whether or not it was right to have an outsider to head the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission.
Let's tie down this thing properly when we come to public hearing. Or the committee should work hard to ensure that while we are looking for somebody from inside, that person, when picked, should be able to survive, should be able to have the support of his colleagues to succeed.
After consideration, the Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes was given a 4-week deadline for further legislative action.
Now, to political matters, the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, has pledged to address security and economic challenges bedeviling the North if elected president come 2023. Tinubu made the pledge during a presidential rally in Kaduna on Tuesday. Bello Musa completes the story.
Addressing the party supporters at the Kaduna rally, the APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu said, addressing the challenges of the North will enable the region witness development in all spheres.
To remain loyal to our country, you will never regret it. Inshallah. All those troublemakers, violent kidnappers, killers, all troublemakers, I assure you, we will eliminate them.
Earlier, the chairman of the party, Abdullah Adamu, and the director general of the APC presidential campaign and governor of Plateau State, Simon Lalong, urged people of the Northwest and the North in general to vote APC for economic prosperity of the region. For prosperity, development, and security of the North, I urge all of you to vote for APC and Aswaju in 2023 election for the continuation of the good work started by President Muhammadu Buhari. Asiwaju has the capacity and the competency to lead the nation. He has good plans for women and youth. National chairman of the party, Abdullahi Adamu, handed over flags to presidential candidate of the party, Bola Tinubu, Kaduna APC governorship candidate Ubasani, and other candidate of the State and National Assembly. Security agencies and vigilante groups were deployed in and around the venue of the rally to ensure the safety of the crowd. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
The People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has pledged to restore peace and improve economic activities in the Plateau State. Abubakar, who made this known on Tuesday at the presidential rally of his party in Jos, also said if elected, he will ensure his administration sees to the reconstruction of federal roads linking Plateau and other neighboring states. Ado Musa has more.
The presidential rally, which held at the Ruampan Stadium, drew supporters of the party from within and outside the states, including some PDP governors. While addressing party supporters, Atiku said if elected president, he will restore peace and confidence in the state.
I have been a resident in this state for the past 28 years. We have promised that we will restore peace in this state. We will also revamp the economy of this state. We will also make sure this state is connected to the neighboring states as far as the road infrastructures are concerned. APC has neglected all the roads connecting Plateau with other states in the country. We promise, because you are a PDP state, we promise we will make sure these roads are rehabilitated. We will revamp the economy. We will bring about peace and prosperity, particularly to our young men and women.
In his remark, the PDP national chairman, Iyorchia Ayu, called on the people of the state to vote PDP to rebuild the country.
By the people of Nigeria, and that is you. When you left PDP, PDP left you, and you started suffering. Do you want PDP to come back? Will you live again? And therefore, I want to thank you for coming out in such large numbers, because this party is going to rebuild the party and rebuild the country.
Various dignitaries at the rally, including governors, also affirmed that if Atiku voted into power, he will ensure that peace, infrastructure, and other economic activities are top priorities of his administration. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Meanwhile, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has again said that if voted to power next year, his administration will move Nigeria from a consumer to a producer nation. Peter Obi disclosed this on Tuesday while addressing supporters during a campaign rally at the Confluence Stadium, Lokoja, in Kogi State. The Labour Party presidential candidate stated that it is a promise he has vowed to keep once he assumes power via the forthcoming presidential election in the country. Obi added that his team is not in the state to buy votes, but to tell the voters how he is prepared to save the country. However, he promised to ensure that the moribund federal government iron and steel industry at Ajaokuta is revived to give strong backing to the economy. Justice Ibrahim Yusuf of the Kwara State High Court has sentenced 3 persons to death by hanging for the rape and murder of a 300-level undergraduate of the University of Ilorin, Omowumi Blessing Olajide. 2 other accused persons were sentenced to 6 years in prison, while 3 were discharged and acquitted. Here is the report.
Omowumi Blessing Olajide was raped and murdered at her Tanke residence along University of Ilorin on the 2nd of June 2021. 8 suspects, including accomplices, were arrested by operatives of the Department of State Security in connection with the crime. Abdulaziz Ismail, Moses Oluwatimileyin and Oyeyemi Omogbolahun are the prime suspects. The trio, alongside 2 others, were also accused of stealing Omowunmi's property and withdrawing money from her account, while 3 others involved in using Omowunmi's stolen phone to make calls were also co-defendants in the case. Delivering judgment, Justice Ibrahim Yusuf found the trio of Abdulaziz Ismail, Moses Oluwatimileyin, and Oyeyemi Omogbolahun guilty of rape, robbery, and culpable homicide. He sentenced them to death by hanging.
It went well. The first, second, and third defender, who are the main culprits, were found guilty of culpable homicide, punishable with death, conspiracy to commit robbery, and conspiracy to murder. So they were accordingly sentenced. Because it's maximum, there is no discretion for the court to exercise. By virtue of provision of the Armed Robbery Act, it's death. Then with respect to the 4th and 5th defendants, they were found guilty of conspiracy to steal and stealing of money in the account of the deceased. So they were convicted for conspiracy and stealing.
3 defendants who were accused of receiving the stolen phone and making calls with it were lucky to be discharged and acquitted. The late Omowunmi Blessing Olajide was a 300-level undergraduate student of the University of Ilorin and was living with Dr. Dupe Shitu before she was killed. The Guardian could not hold back tears while reacting to the judgment.
I'm grateful to the Almighty God for making this case a success. I'm so grateful that the killer of my daughter has been sentenced to death. I wish she can return.
The case, which started in July last year, saw the court filled with relatives of both the accused and the dead victim.
The wife of mechanic who was killed by suspected indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, Fatima Munir, has explained how she received the news of her husband's death. Fatima, who spoke to Trust TV on Tuesday in Jos, said that she received the news of her husband's death hours after she spoke with him in the early hours of Friday morning. Ado Musa reports.
Let Abdisalami was a truck mechanic in Imo State and was killed on Friday in Omunna town of Okige local government area of the state by suspected members of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, when he was trying to fix a faulty truck in the area. Abdisalami was an unfortunate victim who was savagely killed for not obeying the sit-at-home order that has been enforced in Imo and Enugu states. The deceased was buried on Sunday morning amid tears, with sympathizers condemning his killers, where they called for justice. The wife of the deceased, who was in total disbelief and visibly shaking, speaks.
In the afternoon of Friday, I just heard his elder brother, who is a neighbor, receiving a call. The call signaled that all was not well with my husband. Everyone around was crying. I asked them the reason behind the crying, and they told me that my husband was not feeling fine. But the nature of the crying was not a clear indication that my husband was no more.
Remembering good things about her mother husband, Fatima spoke fondly.
I will live to remember my husband forever. I missed a lot. Only God knows how much I have lost from his death. Whatever I requested from him, he would provide that within the limit of his capacity. I definitely lost an irreplaceable partner.
Family and friends said it is unfortunate how innocent citizens going about their businesses are being killed without anyone to be held responsible. They hope and pray for justice to prevail and call on authorities concerned not to fail them. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at how sweet potatoes is replacing Irish in Kano. Details of this and more after the break.
Jama'a ga wata muhimmiyar sanarwa, hukumar raya birnin tarayya Abuja da haɗin gwiwar dukkanin harɗawa shugabannin rigage na Fulani da ƙungiyar Miyatta Allah reshen birnin tarayya Abuja dukkaninsu suna bayyana damuwarsu akan yadda waɗansu mutane suke sakin shanu suna kiwo sakaka a birnin tarayya Abuja. Don haka hukumar raya birnin tarayya Abuja da ta kare muhalli ta birnin suna sanar da dukkanin al'umma tare da gargaɗi akan cewa an hana kiwo na shanu da sauran dabbobi da tsuntsaye a cikin birnin domin suna haddasa bata muhalli da kuma cunkoson ababen hawa a cikin wannan birni. Saboda haka duk wanda aka samu ya karya wannan doka zai fuskanci hukunci, kasancewar akwai gurin da hukumar raya birnin tarayya Abuja ta ware domin kiwo a cikin su. Don haka tabbatar ka bi doka ka kuma haɗa hannu da hukumar raya birnin tarayya Abuja domin tabbatar da tsaftar wannan birni. Wannan sako ne daga hukumar tsaftace muhalli ta birnin tarayya Abuja.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Here's a look at the top stories again. Senate debates CBN cash withdrawal policy, moves to amend EFCC Act. Court sentences 3 to die by hanging in Kwara for murder. The Benue State Police Command has debunked a video trending on social media purported to be bags of rotten Naira notes discovered in a store at the police barracks in the Wadata area of Makurdi town. In the said video, some residents of Wadata were seen pulling out bags of what looked like decomposing papers from a store, claiming it was money discovered by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. But the command, in a statement issued in Makurdi by its public relations officer, Superintendent Catherine Anene, describes the video as a misinformation. It, however, promised to conduct a thorough investigation into the matter. Now, as high cost of living continues to take a toll into people's earnings, residents of Kano who cannot afford Irish potatoes find an alternative in sweet potatoes. In this report, Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that Irish potatoes has jumped to as high as 130,000 naira compared to 11,000 naira for sweet potato. The report.
This is called Yankaba Market in Kano, from where Irish potato arrives by the truckloads. But not anymore, as traders say its price has gone as high as 130,000 naira per bag, the worst in over 30 years. Honestly, the business of Irish potato is not going well these days, both between the buyers and the sellers. Everything is terrible. But people are talking about because of the high cost of diesel that we use in transporting the Irish from different parts of the country, that contributed to make it even worse. And then it's not its season. I can tell you that as of last week, we sold one bag of Irish potato at the cost of 110,000 naira. But today, as I'm talking to you, we are selling one bag at the cost of 130,000 naira. But with the high cost of Irish potato, the Dakata sweet potato market is now booming as the products arrives here by the truckloads on daily basis. The price here is cheaper and traders say is affordable. You know, the price of sweet potato is seasonal. Before now, we used to sell it at 7,000, 6,000, and even 8,000. But nowadays, we are selling it at about between 8,000, 9,000, 11,000, up to 12,000, depending on how it comes from the farm. Sweet potato is sold at between 10 to 11,000 naira per bag, compared to about 7,000 naira before now. And it can go in quantity as low as 100 naira, depending on what the buyers want. Sweet potato that you are seeing, I have that of 300 naira, 200 naira, 100 naira. But that of 100 naira has been sold. They have already bought it out. Although sweet potato is cheaper, but with the Irish potato becoming more and more scarce and highly expensive, there are growing concerns that the price of sweet potato could equally go high in the next coming days. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Now, away from Nigeria, at least 120 people have been killed in the Democratic Republic of Congo capital Kinshasa after heavy rains unleashed floods and caused landslides. A government document seen by Reuters showed on Tuesday entire neighborhoods were flooded with muddy waters and houses and roads ripped apart by sinkholes, including the N1 highway that connects Kinshasa to the chief seaport of Matadi. The Prime Minister's office said in a statement that the N1 could be closed for 3 to 4 days. The death toll was compiled by the General Management of Migration, a part of the Interior Ministry. Health Minister Jean-Jacques Mbanda told Reuters that the ministry had counted 141 dead, but that the number needed to be cross-checked with other departments. And that's a wrap on the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube channel. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.